Now is the time for something a little bit different, everybody. So, a few things. I played around with difficulties because I was getting a bit pissed off on Legendary. I've changed it down several levels, played a few matches on each just to see what's what. And here's the things I found out. It's actually not that much easier when you go down. The same problems I had are always there, so may as well stay on the difficult one and feel good about myself because I'm a glutton for punishment or something. Another factor in the change of style, I changed internet providers. The new one is much cheaper, has amazing download speeds. Unfortunately, the upload speeds suck, so uploading like a 25-minute video of the normal matches I do takes more than 2 hours, which is just ridiculous. So I'm going to try and shorten these videos up with just monthly updates. I really want to focus more on the managerial aspects of the game, since when it comes to gameplay, I'm not actually that great. If you want to see good gameplay, there are better players for that. I want to focus on the managerial stuff. So let's jump into it. Monthly update. We're in December of 2016. We're right at the end of it, so let's go over here and look at the results that we had this month. So we opened up with a Sheffield United at home in the FA Cup, a 0-0 draw at home. Not bad, I'll take it. Stevenage was next, another 0-0 draw. You're noticing a theme here. This one was actually a 0-0 draw. It went to extra time where Johnny White grabbed his first goal and stuck us through the next round. Leyton Orient, 0-0 draw. This is about the point where I'm like, what happened? Why is this so difficult to score goals for me and the AI? It's actually just after a patch dropped from EA, and it made it so much more difficult to score goals. So this is, between this Leyton Orient match and the next one against Doncaster, is when I started experimenting with the difficulties. And yeah, goals are a little easier to score, but the stupid stuff that frustrates me, like the bad passing, the defensive AI, the inability to clear incoming balls, all still present, so may as well keep it on Legendary. We went to Doncaster. No, Doncaster came to us, and we lost 2-0. That was a kind of frustrating match, but let's see, I've got other notes about the match. And I skipped the Doncaster match in the notes. How about that? I don't remember anything about it. Yeovil, we had a solid 2-0 win, and a couple of good goals there. I took little highlights and put those on Twitter using just PS4 native stuff. Some good goals there. Look at that one. And then Exeter, another 2-0 win. Tomo and Evans had a great game, and Sverre Mikkelbust, the youth left back, actually scored an absolute cracker. That one is also on Twitter. Look that one up. It's a good goal, especially for a left back. And then before we end the month, we have Blackpool to play, but I wanted to get that match played before we go into January, which is transfer season, of course. So where did those matches leave us in the table? Over here, we'll look at that. We are back on top. I think we were first at the beginning of the month, but those draws and the loss, they knocked us down as far as 4th, but the rest of the teams had some pretty weak results, so we didn't fall too far behind, and with the 2 wins in the last 2 matches, we made it up pretty quickly. What else do we have to look at? Ooh, youth players. There's been some good youth stuff. We'll look at the ones that have actually made the squad in a little bit. But here are the 2 guys that I have in the youth academy. Nils Larsson, solid keeper. I mean, he's 54 rated now. I've put him through some training to bump him up a few points already, but potential somewhere in the low 80s, I'm guessing. He is eligible to come up. I actually sent him an offer already. I meant to do it earlier so that I wouldn't get hit with the academy fees and upkeep, all that. I think I may have missed it, so that's a mistake on my part. Harrison Morris, he's been in the academy again. Potential probably somewhere in the low 80s. He is ready to jump into the first team as soon as he hits 16 years old, but I can't grab him yet. He's got some great stats, fairly solid in all the physical ones, good aggression, and his tackling is coming along nicely. He has been through a lot of training and gained nearly 10 overall. What else do we want to look at? Let's look at the finances real quick. Our profit is not doing as well. Our projection is 6.3 million. I have no idea how we're going to get there, considering we're nearly at transfer season and we haven't even got 1 million yet. But that was some, poor decisions I made overall. So this is our first season in this game with this new finances situation. And it's kind of been a learning season. I learned that I spent way too much money on scouts and sending them out. I would not send them out for 9 months to anywhere in Europe. I would send them to the cheap places, Australia and Asia. Send out for 3 months, just grab who I can that might be reasonable, and just train them up and send them into the team when I need them, and start dropping the big wage players to save money. Because there's something I learned recently in the last match. Liam Angel, center back, he's played one game in the preseason. I haven't played him since. He says, "Hey, can I have a game?" And I looked at my team. A lot of my center backs were tired since I played 3 of them, maybe even 4 in the previous match. I'm like, alright, why not? Have a good game. And he did. He played fairly well. Was solid in the back. And by solid, I mean the team didn't even let in or concede a shot. That was against Exeter. So ratings aren't everything, it turns out. It's how they fit into the team, how they flow, and all that. So another prime example of that is Tom Owen Evans. One of our lowest rated midfielders, but he is amazing. Always works hard, creates chances, has had a couple of scoring opportunities as well. So, things to think about when in the finances. You don't need big name players. You want value, especially in League 2, when your finance board objective is important. If you're, Man United, Barcelona, who cares about the money? You just get the best player you can. So, we're doing pretty well on the match tickets. The player shirt sales are low weekly, but a sizable chunk. They're definitely helping more than hurting. The wages have been bumped up a little bit since I grabbed a couple of youth players, Johnny White and Mikkel Bust, who I spoke about earlier. They are doing okay. I've also offered some new contracts for some of the guys that are eligible to get snatched away on free transfers. More match tickets. Stadium maintenance is negligible. I think we've played more away games than we have at home, at least in terms of league matches, so 2% of our expenses is small. Low match tickets on that one, which may have broke our streak for one of the other objectives. But I think it determines how much money you get from match tickets after the game based on the result, which is completely bogus. Should be based on previous form, if anything, and how big the game is itself. Anything else to look for? Travel costs. London for Leyton Orient. Fairly reasonable. I think I said in a few videos ago that our big travel cost ones, like all the way north to Carlisle, those matches have already played away, so I think our away costs are the worst of it has passed. There's some numbers that we can crunch at the end. Away games 14, we've spent 318k. We can average that out to figure out about how much we can expect per game and start planning our money a lot better for next season. Prize money for making it through to the FA Cup, that more than balanced out the travel cost there. Anyways, let's jump out of that. We are well over time, what I was hoping for. There's not too much to talk about. Let's have a quick look at the squad report. That's the lineup I'm going with for the next match. We're going 2 strikers. The last couple of games I've only been going with 1, and it's actually working pretty well. I like having the defensive stability and controlling the midfield. That is working well for us. Joe Day has been a solid keeper. He's, I think, got the most clean sheets this season, especially with all those 0-0 draws recently. Binho has played very well. It's a shame he's as old as he is and is starting to deteriorate. Same with Jones. We missed him for a while with injury, but he's come back in and done well. Cal Cameron, his loan's about to expire. He has developed well and has been fairly solid, but hopefully Harrison Morris can come in and fill his shoes. Dan Butler has been immense recently. Set up a few goals, as well as I scored one. I think that might have been in one of the games that I played, and then the save file jumped us back a few games so that it didn't actually get played. I can't remember which one it was, but he is capable of scoring goals. Jordan Green, probably not hit his full potential, but done alright. Josh Sheehan, he started the season well, but he's kind of dropped off. He's not one of my first picks at the moment. Labadie is absolutely a top pick. He's our highest rated player at the moment, and plays solidly defensive and on the attack. Compton had a good spell with a couple of goals, but hasn't been creating much lately. Healy has really come into a game, scored a lot of goals in the last month or two. It's a shame we'll be losing him. His loan expires next month as well. Parkin is back from injury and his morale is insecure. I wonder why that is. because he's old and other reasons? I don't know. Johnny White is looking pretty good. He's scored a couple of goals and really looks dangerous coming forward. He's not too much to say about his defensive responsibilities, but who cares? He's a winger. Grigo Cox really hasn't done well. His loan expires and off he goes. Won't be disappointed to see the back of him. Beauchamp has been good enough as a backup keeper. He looks alright. Once Larson hits the similar rating, we're probably going to start playing him as backup, and either Beauchamp or Day will go out. I'm okay with either of them going away. I want to save the wages. A lot like Graham Wesley is doing with Real Newport County. Marlon Jackson, he's good. He puts in a lot of effort, but he hasn't scored many goals or set up any. But he does create them with, aggression, tackling, pressuring. Turley's been solid enough. Nothing bad to say about him. Tozer has been amazing. I want to renew his contract. He's potentially could get pulled away from us, so I want to renew his contract immediately. He is versatile. He's great as a defensive mid. Scores goals and sets him up too. Randall's started doing quite well. He didn't have a great first half of the season, but I don't think he's scored any, but he's set up a lot and puts in a lot of work, so he'll stick around for a while. Mario Owens is hit or miss. His pace can sometimes get some space on the wing, but he hasn't scored that many goals recently. Mickelbust has been developing well. He's fairly solid in the back, but coming forward he can hit some goals, it turns out. Ben Jones hasn't had much playing time, but he's been solid. Again, don't let the low rating fool you. He is, more than welcome on the team. I'm not sure if I'm going to get rid of him. We may have an excess of center backs, and he's going to be one of the first to go. Same with Liam Angel. Solid enough when he plays, but do we really need another center back when we've got Morris, Jones, Turley? We just need one of them to replace Cameron. Bamford's been meh when he plays. Does the job. Nothing spectacular. Tom Owen, I already spoke about him. Excellent player, especially considering his rating is not the highest. Puts in a lot of work and creates some goals. Jazzy, again, hit or miss. Sometimes he's excellent coming down the wings, puts in some good tackles. Sometimes he is just not there. Scott Bennett, another hit or miss. We could do without him. None of his stats are very particularly high. He also can play defensive mid and does okay there. John Lewis, highly paid. I may drop him if we can get a buyer. And then Sean Rigg, we may need him to play as a striker since we're losing Healy and Grigo Cox and Green, and Parkin and John Lewis are high on my list to get sold because they get paid a lot of wages. And Bittner is surplus to requirements. I need to get rid of him, but I can't because he's new. So there's a squad. Transfers are about to happen. I don't know what exactly is going to happen yet. I'm certainly not bringing anyone in right now. I need to save the cash if I want to get anywhere near this board expectation right here of $8.5 million in profit margin for the year. It's been stuck at about 8% since the beginning. I should have no problem keeping the salary growth under control because I'm losing a lot of players on loan. I may bring in a couple just to fill some gaps, and then I may look to bring in some free transfers for next season because there's a few players that I'm not interested in keeping that are having their contracts expire, so either they'll get lured away on a free transfer or I'll just let them expire. We are looking good on the youth development. I may have to bring in one more to make it 4. We've already got Mickelbus and White. Larson will come in as well soon. I've already offered him the contract. And then I'm not sure if Morris will age up before the end of the season, or we may just have to pull in one more. We got to the right stage of the FA Cup. We're looking good in the league table. We don't care about Continental. And we had a 4-game streak of 85% attendance, but we need to do it again to get 5. And that's all I needed to show you. So, I'll play that last match. Expect the next monthly update at the end of January, and I should have some transfer news. I'll tell you who's gone out. Follow on Twitter. The handle is Ryan Roth Games. If you want to know what is going on as it happens, or you can just wait a week or two to get the monthly update and see what's going on. Like, comment, subscribe. What do you think of the new video format? I'm sorry, but there's plenty of reasons I said at the beginning of the video of why I'm changing. It'll work out. I do like the manager stuff better than recording every game. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one, end of January, and the transfer window update.